The descent of Tony Ferguson has been tough to watch. He has now gone from 12-0 to 0-6 in the UFC. Once on a historic run in his division with 12 straight wins, Ferguson's current stretch could have never been predicted ahead of his May 2020 interim title fight against Justin Gaethje. That fight is often considered the start of Ferguson's decline, after a handful of injuries and a cancelled fight against Nurmagomedov led to that moment. You could say the fight against Justin was the start of his downfall, but you can also say it began with him losing the interim title fight, after he tripped over a cable and tore his leg. There's also stuff in his personal life with his wife filing a restraining order a few years back. And of course the most obvious being his age and some of the wars he's been in, has now caught up to him. Regardless of what it is, it's sad to see because he's a legend in the game, and he's now rapidly approaching BJ Penn levels. Tony's an all-time great, but he's been done dirty so many times in his career. It's depressing to see the end happen like this. I think for his overall health he obviously needs to stop. I know he's been on antipsychotics, so I don't think any more CT-inducing activities would help. His confidence in the fighting style he made his name on is gone, and it's far too late to reinvent himself. He's always been known for having slick jiu-jitsu and being good on his back, and last Saturday he got submitted by a guy who hasn't had a submission win for 10 years. In the fight against Green, Ferguson was so slow. His decline is one of the steepest in the sport that I can recall. He had no reaction time or speed whatsoever. Terrible footwork too. It's hard to think that this is the same guy that beat up RDA on the feet and made it look easy. I don't think he's 100% mentally there anymore. Half the movements he does looks like he remembers what he used to do, but forgets how and when to do it. Somebody needs to stop him from fighting because he obviously won't. Once your reaction time and reflexes go, even though you have all the fight IQ in the world, the thing that you're reacting to has already happened. Tony thinks the things that worked for him in the past will still work now. He'll intentionally put himself at a disadvantage by eating punches and fighting off the bottom, because he thinks he can just power through it. It's just not working for him anymore. If you're an unorthodox fighter, you need even better reactions and speed than normal, because you're fighting in an inefficient way. So when your athleticism starts to slip, the impacts are even more severe. It's pretty much the worst possible style once you're no longer young. You also have to question if he's lost his chin. Tony used to walk through fire and flame to land shots and just outpace or out-survive his opponent. But since Gaethje cracked his dome, he's never looked the same. It's always important to watch fighters' careers and not just look at results and rankings on paper. With Tony being on a 6-fight losing streak, it's not that he lost, it's how he lost. Going from the unorthodox buzzsaw who had insane cardio and a great chin, to looking disturbingly feeble and unable to impose himself anymore in any way, is why most of his fans, including me, are now saying he should retire. It's not like he's just getting caught or edged out by better technicians, it's that he is barely even a threat to them, whereas he used to be one of the sport's scariest fighters. He's not like Jose Aldo or RDA who have such fundamentally sound games that they can still hold their own and be competitive, or at least stay safe, after their physicality starts to fade. You need to be insanely fast, durable and strong to fight like Tony Ferguson, and he isn't anymore. So hopefully he'll retire before he sustains even more damage. Tell me what you think below, and don't forget to subscribe.